This is my sun. But what if the sun exploded? Folks, welcome back to Proper Slopper Prime. Today, we're looking at a real stinker, I tell you. With the recent release of Project Hail Mary, I've been looking up movies about the sun dying. So Sunfall is a 2024 disaster movie about the sun getting all big and close to Earth, and only one man being able to stop it. We got people burning up, we got fire tornadoes, we got meteors for some reason. And if that premise doesn't pull you in, well, it's also shit. Coming in at a cool, or should I say hot, 1 hour and 14 minutes. This movie's mercifully short, but it really doesn't feel like it when you're watching it. So much of it is just unwatchable nonsense, or just repetitions of scenes, like not recreating the scene, the same scenes that we've seen before. They folded this movie in on itself just to get it to the 1 hour and 14 minutes that we have. So let me show you. Take this, for example. The first 3 minutes of this movie is a trailer. Not for a different movie. No. For itself. In the movie. It is a trailer for itself. It is literally a coming up reel for a movie you're about to watch. Like it's I'm a Celebrity or some shit. I've never seen a movie do this. And even in that trailer, they reuse a couple of scenes. But the first scene of the movie proper is this whacked out of scale solar system shot where like Jupiter is the same size as the sun and it's all tight and close together and it doesn't really make sense. And you'd think in a movie about the sun getting even bigger than it normally is that they would try and get the scale right in the first instance. But alas, that is a portent of what is to come. We then get introduced to our main character, Trevor, and his best mate, who either they never say the name of or I just can't remember. So they're scientists working in a lab. And by lab, they mean the cheapest hotel basement they could find to film in. Trevor's going on a bit about how he's building like this tool, this vacuum bomb, as he calls it, but it's not really a bomb. It is actually a device that allows him to harness radiation and then release it elsewhere.
It's a bomb. Trevor. No, it's not like a bomb. It's a defensive bomb for space. No, it's like a vacuum bomb. See,
And he goes on about how it's really not designed to be a weapon, but I have to say, vacuum bombs are already a thing, and they are certainly weapons. So you might want to pick another name, because everyone in this movie goes, oh, it's a weapon. And he goes, no.
Okay, it's like a vacuum bomb.
A weapon? How much do you want for it,
No, it's not a weapon.
I was like, well, you've used the name of a weapon, man. If I'm like, I don't know, this remote is my sword that I've developed. You'd be like, what, is it a sword then? No, actually, it turns TVs on. Okay, but you named it a sword. Yeah, but what do you mean? No, it turns TV. Why would you think it's a weapon? Because you've named it a sword. My favourite thing about this scene, though, is that really loud and annoying hum that sits just at the right volume to distract me from everything else in the scene.
What? I'm not wasting my time. I gotta play.
It's one of the best things about this movie, actually, is that it doesn't actually matter that it's bad, because you're not going to hear the majority of it anyway. This is unedited.
Calculates the correspond to becoming a red giant until it expands towards our satellite was hit by a solar flare. It's gone. It's burnt up.
I saw the flare.
Guys, don't you know? How can I make fun of the dialogue if I can't even hear it, guys? Speaking of annoying noises, this movie doesn't stop here. No. This movie's got a bad mouth. Characters are dropping F-bombs everywhere they go. And look, that's fine. I love a bit of swearing. I'm not a child any longer. I can do whatever I want, ma'am. But for some reason, and I don't know if it's just the version that I watched, they censor it with this abominably loud bleep.
That's for me.
Guys, what that?
It is really hot, isn't it? It's giving me a...
Ow! What do you do?
Man, every time I hear it, I feel like I'm gonna get hit by a reversing truck. And the best bit is, sometimes they don't bleep it at all. Sometimes they just cut the word out entirely. It's completely random.
You can get out.
And I'm jealous.
I don't know what to expect at any given moment. It's giving me a fucking panic attack watching this. I just don't get why you would write a script with so much swearing only to censor it all out. And the only thing I can think of is that when they came to release the movie, they got an age rating and they had to be like, oh, we're not actually allowed that many swear words. Like, we can't do that. But I actually had to pause it when it first happened because I thought something in my room was blowing up. It's so egregious. Anyway, the science chuds are getting bullied by the Chad security guards, and not one of them notices the poorly composited monitor in the background that's just flashing danger. I mean, maybe have it make a noise or something, like a bleep, for example. How about a bleep? You got plenty of bleeps. And like, man, come on. This composition overlaid on the screen, like, you couldn't have just plugged a monitor in and had it display that that looped video that you've got on. You couldn't have just plugged it in. You had to leave an unplugged monitor and composite it so that you can see, like, it bending and distorting when people move past it. Come on, man. I mean, all of the visual effects in this movie are some of the worst I've ever seen. But trust me, we'll get to that. But they eventually notice the screen, and after some repeated tapping that seemingly does nothing, we finally get the warning. Sun hitting. Caution. Sun hitting? Sun hitting? Sun hitting what? The Earth? Sun hitting? And only a caution. I feel like the sun hitting the Earth requires more than a caution. Honestly, maybe just a bye-bye or you're fucked, because nothing is coming back from the sun hitting. What a weird alert, man. Sun hitting. Fucking meaningless. Also, hang on. How are they measuring that? Well, they got probes up at the sun measuring when it is hitting? What is that? What is... hitting, doesn't matter. Anyway, how specific an alert? Someone coded that alert into the system or like set it up to be like, oh, if the sun ever hits, this'll fire, right? Because the thing is, all of the movies, thing is, all the characters in this movie are like, no, that's impossible. The sun can't possibly be hitting. That can't be happening. Well, clearly not for the guy who coded this alert. That was clearly a very possible scenario for the person who made this alert, this very specific alert. Unless in this world, it's just normal for people to just have alerts for things that are considered impossibilities. Just things that could never happen, you know? Although, to be fair, I do actually have an alert for when Mrs. Brown's Boys has a funny joke in it. So you never know. I just can't get over sun hitting. It's... sun hitting, not like, by the way, the sun's exploding, like, or supernova, or like the sun's gone wild, like, or just even like, you know, rogue signals from the sun. It's not sun hitting. It's just so bizarre. Anyway, hitting the fan. See how distracting that is when you're not expecting it. So let's take a look outside and see how things are going.
Best calculations for a sun becoming a red giant was 9 billion years.
Christ alive. These visual effects are atrocious. Like, seriously bad. Look, I usually give these low-budget movies a little bit of leeway when it comes to the visual effects because they're expensive, right? And I don't think low-budget creators should be disallowed from telling the stories they want to tell just because of very expensive visual effects. And most of the time, the budget ones look fine for what they are and you can look past it. Most of the time, I just take the piss out of them when they're used kind of out of context or somewhere it doesn't make sense, or they don't match what the script is telling us. And that's funny. However, a big however for this one, some of these just look like low quality gifts that they've composited in. I actually did some research as well. I found that the meteor and fire effects in this film are from the first non-YouTube search result on Google. Someone just Googled meteor and fire VFX and just used whatever the first thing they found was. My question here is, how did they make them look so awful, so much worse than the stock VFX footage? They don't look as bad as just stock effects, they're perfectly fine. But somehow they've taken them and just worsened them. They made them look horrendous. It's like when you give a kid some stickers and they just start putting stickers everywhere. But somehow even worse. Look, at this point in the video, I just need to give you a selection of the VFX best bits, as it were. Otherwise, I'll be talking about this for the whole video. So here it is.
Apologies for this interruption, but we have some breaking news.
This is nuts!
Man, they're like clipping and jittering all the way through. Keyframes look like they're missed out. I don't understand how they've done this. It genuinely looks like something from Action FX from the App Store in like 2015. Okay, back to it though, seriously, because we've got so much to get through. So we cut back to Trevor, who's walking through a garden centre in London. And you can tell he's walking because of the incredibly loud fake footstep noises they've added in.
Hello?
His mate calls him and he's like, mate, the sun is reaching its red giant phase. Okay? And Trevor's like, nah, that's just not possible. Impossible, mate, don't believe you. And we cut to the lab and his mate is literally on fire and the lab is on fire and everything's burning down. And I'm like, how are the effects of the sun hitting? The sun hitting? How are the effects of the sun hitting localized entirely to your lab, your underground lab? You're on fire in your little underground bunker, but your mate who's walking through fucking Dobby's garden centre is fine. Everyone around him's fine. The plants around him are fine. It's at most a little bit sunny. Huh? What do these guys think the sun is? Like a laser pointer or something? Like you're telling me a solar flare went specifically to his lab? The sun was like, no, I've got a problem with this one man. This one guy specifically. Him. And even more, apparently, they went outside to check what was going on, and the entire rest of their team just burned up as soon as they went outside. They just burned to a crisp. But everyone else in London, fine. Fine, just that one building. We cut to a news report of a guy in Clacton, and he's like, guys, it's a bit hot. Maybe you want to keep hydrated. Make sure you put your sun cream on.
I'm here today in sunny Clacton. With the record-breaking temperatures still rising, don't forget to stay hydrated and wear your factor 30.
My brother in Christ, look behind you. The sky is literally on fire. What is it with these movies where news reporters are just completely disconnected from all of their environment? There's things going on in the background and they're just like, yeah, maybe like stay indoors. It's like, huh? How is this not affecting him in the same way? By rights, he should be cooking like a kebab. But so far, it seems, from the sun-hitting event, the supernova, the two places that are affected are some random lab, and Clacton-on-Sea. And to be honest, if that's the price for a supernova, I'm willing to pay that price. You know, to be honest, I'd probably let Clacton go for free. So his mate tells him in his final breath that Trevor needs to get to the billionaire George Dallas and use his exosphere technology to get his vacuum bomb up and running and stop the sun, to return it to its original size. Okay, but this George Dallas character, the billionaire, doesn't care about the environment. He just cares about money. You know, he's all like, I'm not going to make any of my cars electric because I like to rev my engine.
My vehicles will never be 100% electric. Do you want to know why? Because of mankind's right to rev.
He's like if Jeremy Clarkson was a twink. But there are some quite funny consequences to writing a billionaire into your low-budget movie. So George Dallas takes Trevor up to his boardroom to discuss his proposition.
Now this is where the magic happens. I sometimes rent it out. They don't call me businessman of the year for nothing.
Marvelous.
I know, tell me about it. It's lovely, isn't it?
Dude, you can't say this is where the magic happens when your relatively small boardroom is overlooking an estate and a standard business park. Unless the magic you're talking about happens to be a 10-minute call on what to get Moira from HR for her retirement. Don't get me wrong, it's fine. I don't have a boardroom. I don't have a boardroom prejudice. But like, don't act like you're the shit when we can see Mrs. Norris doing her laundry from across the road. So Trevor explains his plan, which is to use the vacuum bomb to shoot it to the sun, where it now it creates a black hole, which they didn't mention before. It creates a black hole which will shrink the sun down to its normal size. Now, I'm not sure that's how any of that works, but I'm not a scientist, so whatever. He does say this one thing though.
Phase 2, the sun is going to reach 4 times its current landmass.
It's a ball of gas, man. Everyone knows the ball of gas is the sun. Everyone knows the sun's a ball of gas. It doesn't have land mass. If you don't know this stuff, maybe you shouldn't be running this operation. I don't have very much faith. Anyway, Dallas agrees to fund the project, but suddenly some environmentalists break in and start causing havoc. Havoc, that is, to the 7 people in the room there to hear their protests.
What the was it?
George Dallas and his companies have destroyed the Earth. There is no going back. We are calling on him to step down now. We are calling on you, his investors, to remove him now.
Yeah.
But then suddenly, meteors start crashing down and killing people. I'm not sure why exactly the sun is throwing meteors at Earth, but again, I'm not a scientist.
That was hot. Right.
Everything's falling apart, planes are crashing, things are setting on fire, it all looks like total dog shit. It seems like things are starting to kick off. For the sun, the lab was just the test run. So people are running away and there are these like slow-mo shots of people getting hit by meteors, but like just them, specifically them. It's not like they're falling all around and they just happen to get hit. These are targeted strikes. Like you couldn't have put like a rain of fire. You had to like cheap out on the VFX and just specifically just kill these people. Like the sun specifically has a personal vendetta against these people. Put a few more bloody meteors in there, man. It can't cost that much. And all the while, you look in the background, there are people just going about their day. There's someone doing their shopping or like at the park or something. Like the sun's just ignoring these people. They're not even worried. It's fine. They know they're safe. I mean, probably because they didn't decide to take part in this god-awful movie. Then we get to my favorite scene. We cut to these like oil executives deciding to increase fossil fuel usage.
I propose we raise the usage to really make sure our shareholders are satisfied.
Which, like, I get the environmental theme, but the sun going supernova has no link to fossil fuel usage on Earth. That I get, you're like, what this leads into the personal vendetta thing again. The sun is specifically like, guys, the sun is a conscious sentient being in this movie. If that's the link, the sun is judging us for our fossil fuel consumption. This is retribution. What is the implication here? That like, if you use too many fossil fuels, the sun will explode. Like, what? Huh? Humanity cannot be blamed for the explosion of the sun. The whatever analogy you're trying to make doesn't make sense. Anyway, one woman looks out the window and she's like, oh, it's raining.
Rain.
Rain? Did you say rain? Are you on crack, woman? Does that look like any kind of rain you've ever seen? The sky is alight, babes. What kind of rain have you seen that looks like that? Things are on fire. When have you ever seen rain like that? Who are you, Adele? But the guy in the boardroom gets like smashed with a meteor and immediately bursts into flames. And like they don't react for like a good 5 seconds. There's somebody in the frame. I think it must be a freeze frame, but there's somebody in the side of the frame, one of the women in the boardroom, just no reaction at all. Just stands there as the sky burns. Unreal. And this is the other thing, right? That like there's inconsistency because sometimes it looks like they just forgot to put VFX in. So like sometimes the sky will be on fire, like fully on fire, and buildings will be burning. And then sometimes it'll be like a regular overcast grey English day. I'm like, I'm not saying that I want more of this. But at least make it consistent one way or the other, guys, because I don't know what's going on. Trevor teams up with the environmentalists to explain what's going to happen next in the movie. I'd love to know what they're talking about, though, because they seriously did not mic up any of the actors in this scene, and they've added in more loud footsteps.
Yeah, well, we thought it was impossible to grow this fast. But no, it's a combination of things. That doesn't matter. What matters right now is that we stopped.
You're Dallas Thompson, one of his donors. I'm Marcy.
It's the outside, just the ghost.
Great. How do we get there?
West bed, underground.
I genuinely cannot hear anything at all. There's a dog barking at some point and it's louder than everything else. I can hear the white van man driving past sucking on his bloody vape before I can hear any of the actors. They all get in a van to go somewhere, wish I could tell you, and they get chased by a fire tornado, chased in a straight line by a fire tornado. Now, I'm straight up saying it at this point, these people did something wrong. The sun is mad. What did they do to deserve this specific solar retribution? And this is one of the most exhilarating scenes of the movie. There's a girl called Cheryl who's driving. She's like the techie, can-do, engineer, driver, fixer of the gang. And she's the one driving away from the fire tornado. This chase scene is just lots of shots of people in the back of a van. And then this. At some point, Cheryl says the road is splitting in two, like it's so hot that the road is melting in two. We get to visualize this through a scene of the camera shaking in the back of the van.
The road up ahead, it's splitting! Hang on, guys! Okay, I think we're okay now.
So they all really hold on tight. The camera shakes, and then it's over. That's it. That's the chase scene. Shots of people in the back of a van, and this fire tornado. Diabolical. That wasn't even a Bradley Walsh cameo. Just crap. Crap. Eventually, they get to Dallas's plane. Jesus, I've gone really red. I do have like a blind that is making me look quite red. But this one's about the sun, baby, so it fits. I'm not changing it. Eventually, they get to Dallas's private plane. I'm still not sure where they're taking it or where they're going, but they made it there. The plane does say US Army on the side of it, but I promise you, the script says it's Dallas's private plane.
That's George's plane. My husband. I don't know if I...
And in the back, it may be kitted out like a cargo or a military plane, but I promise you, the script says this is Dallas's private plane.
That's George's plane.
Just before they get on it, though, Cheryl confesses that she doesn't know how to fly a plane. She can't do it. She doesn't know how to fly it.
Guys, do you want to know a secret? What? I can't actually fly a plane.
But it's all fine because they all have like so much faith in her. They're like, you can do it, Cheryl. It's going to be fine. You're going to save everyone. But it's really kind of a moot point, Cheryl, babes, because you're not flying it. You're in the back. You're in the cargo with everyone else. With every other character in the movie, you're in the back of the plane. With all of them. No, there's no need to worry about flying it because surely someone else will take care of it. Because you'll be in the back with every other character in the movie. It's just, look, I'm not trying to nitpick, all right? But who is flying the plane? Because you can't say Cheryl's flying the plane and then have her in the back with everyone else. Oh, no one is. No one's flying the plane. Great, that's good. Just glad we cleared that one up. Jesus Christ, man, how did this get made? I say that every fucking video, but how does this get made? Trevor even tells Cheryl at one point, oh, we're nearly there. Like, just keep an eye out for the runway.
Okay. We're approaching from the east. Keep your eyes peeled for an airstrip, okay? Should be coming soon.
Okay.
She's there in the back, dude. She's not... You didn't go into a cockpit. She's there with you, man. Who are you talking to? We get this awesome scene where there's like some turbulence on the plane, but it's completely silent apart from the characters' voices. You know, the complete opposite of the rest of the movie, essentially. But it just reminds me of that Tom Cruise leak from The Mummy, where he's just flying around in the plane and it's just his voice lines. It's you couldn't even muster up a rumble. Just a no, none of that. Silence. Okay. It's at this point in the movie where we start getting these really annoying flashbacks to things that happened like 40 minutes ago. Genuinely, we get 5 lengthy flashbacks to things that happened within the past hour of this film's runtime, which, remember, is almost the entire runtime. It's only an hour and 14 minutes long. We do not need this. I can remember that somebody died like 5 minutes prior to this scene. It's fine. I'm not that bad yet. TikTok's getting me there, but I'm not that bad. They're literally just replaying scenes at this point. Like, if you don't have enough movie for your movie, then cut your movie short. Or make more movie. Crazy idea. Don't just use scenes from the movie and just pass it off like it's new content. These aren't flashbacks to things that happened in these characters' lives prior to the movie. These are all things we as the audience have seen. Like, some of it's just not even relevant. Like, Trevor is sitting on the floor thinking about the time that his friend burned to death in a lab, for which he wasn't even present. It's not like they're reminiscing on good times. It's just random things that they had footage for. Like, you weren't there, dude. Shut up. Anyway, the plane crashes because of more fire tornadoes and Cheryl dies. R.I.P. Maybe next time you should actually fly the plane, all right? Maybe then you wouldn't die in a plane crash, Cheryl. But George Dallas turns up with the vacuum bomb. I did forget to mention that he has like kind of a fake out death where he gets like swallowed into a tornado. You don't need to know. He's back. He comes back like 10 minutes later. But he's got the vacuum bomb. I have no idea how he got to where they were when they stole his private plane. Doesn't matter. The guy can teleport. He's a billionaire. All right, he's Twink Jeremy Clarkson. It's all good. And anyway, they're back at the lab. So that must have been where they were going, was the lab. But the lab was in London, and they didn't leave London. It's not like Trevor flew anywhere from London to get to George originally. So they're just in London. So do they just fly above London and then land? Huh? Also, the lab burnt down in the beginning. People went outside and got turned to ash. But the security guards are still there. The building is still there. The security guards are still just being assholes.
I ain't missed being around these boffins.
They're not seeing people burning to death? Have they not gone to check downstairs to see the entire lab is gone? Are they expecting people to just forget? Not only are you expecting me to forget that the lab burned down and everyone in it died, you just showed me it again. Like, you just showed me a bunch of flashbacks to the bloody movie. You can't be showing people flashbacks of like, you remember when this lab burned down? And then be like, don't mention the lab burned down. Don't mention it. Let them forget. It's like, okay, what do you want me to think? It's still clearly not safe here too, because Brenda, George Dallas's wife, just burns to a crisp about 5 feet away from the rest of them. Don't know how they're not just on fire. She just spontaneously combusts. And they're stood about 5 feet going, she is very hot. She's very warm. It's like, yeah, so should you be. Fuck it, who cares? Maybe her perfume is like extra flammable, or she's got like a gene that makes her susceptible to being on fire. Like, what? At this point, George has totally lost it. He's gone a bit Joker-esque with the rage.
I built some underground living quarters. Not even that sun can reach. And that was just plan B. History will remember me. It will remember! I'm the Joker, baby!
He tries to, like, I think, stop Trevor from launching the device, but it's not really clear, and he doesn't seem to have any motive to want to stop the device. He just wants the glory of being remembered to be the one who did it, and it's like, yeah, cool, fine. No one is really stopping you from doing that.
I've got to be the one to push the button. You just want the glory for yourselves, don't you?
Like, let's save the Earth, and then we can sort out the details of who's responsible later. It's just a bit weird. It's like his character's like a rich douchebag kid, right? But then he just breaks, I guess because his wife died. But like he's like, I'm insane now. I'm an insane person. It's like when Daenerys heard the bells in King's Landing. She's like, well, guys, I guess I'm insane now. But one of the environment girlies, Macy, manages to grab a gun from a guard and she just points it at George. And he's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out. So he goes to the rocket and he goes outside, very clearly outside, and he's not combusting. But Trev goes out and he attaches the vacuum bomb. And he lets us all know that George is in the rocket. He's gotten into the rocket. So this rocket for being fired into the sun, all right, has a seat for a person in it, just in case someone wanted to be fired into the sun. So George is on there, and I half expected, the heroic, I'm going to save the enemy moment, and Trevor was going to... No, none of that. Trevor doesn't give a shit. Trevor just says George is going to get fired into the sun and presses launch. He just does it.
I think George Dallas has blasted himself off into the sun. Okay, here we go.
He just knows exactly where he is, exactly what his fate is. He's like, fuck it, we ball. Too late for George. Goodbye. And if we could only just all collectively agree to launch billionaires into the sun. The way that George dies, though, oh my God, it's so funny. Like, again, the little seat for the person, inside this sun rocket. Why does that exist? But he's sat there, he's chill. It's like a Doctor Who scene, like a really, really low budget Doctor Who scene.
Trevor!
Just a little one-man seat in case anyone fancied going to the fucking sun. I mean, ignoring the fact that he reaches the sun in about 5 seconds from launch, which means he's going faster than the speed of light. He's like, oh, it's too fucking hot.
Hot.
Yeah, man. You got in a rocket to the sun. What were you expecting? And there's this tense scene where Trevor's like, I need to get the rocket in the right place to detonate the device. And he's like doing crazy maths and shit. And it's just undercut by these cuts to George in the rocket just screaming. It's too funny. I can't do anything but show you. You've just got to see it.
Trevor! Trevor, help!
Phase 1 complete. Okay. Now I need to detonate at a really precise altitude. Now.
And hold on, Trev's doing all this rocket shit, right? But the cameras on his screens are from a third-person perspective of the rocket. Who's filming the rocket? What's going on there? Little bit of a nitpick, maybe, but, fuck this movie, so... But anyway, they do it. Macy and Trevor, they save the world together, and we didn't kind of really see it. I guess we saw the rocket go up, but, I guess it's fine. They did it, guys. They have no idea how many people died. They're like, how is the world even the same? It's like, I don't know, about 4 or 5 people died because everyone else just seemed immune to fire. But at the end, we see the sun turns to white. And Macy's like, Why is the sun white now? What? But fuck it, who cares? I guess they were setting it up for maybe a sequel. But they'd have to make a full movie to make a sequel to that movie. They'd actually have to make a movie. This isn't a movie. A sequel to this movie would be an affront to God and all of his children. Oh, jeez. Well, that was Sunfall. I'm trying to cash in on the Project Hail Mary hype, but I'm really late with it. I did film this video and then I filmed it again because my phone got destroyed. So, yeah. This one was just, it's tough. Like, not just like, it was bad, but like, you know, I had a bit of fun. Like, you know, like Meth Gator, right? Meth Gator was pretty fun. There was something to be enjoyed there. It was a bit goofy. I knew what it was, right? This was not that. I contemplated turning this movie off and just giving up on this video because I didn't think I could make more fun of it than it just existing itself. I was like, there's no way. It's so bad already. There's no way you can take the piss out of it because it's a monument to its own atrociousness. I'm struggling to think of anything redeemable. I mean, there was that like environmental subplot. The billionaires are destroying the planet and the oil barons and whatever. The sun has nothing to do with that. But then the environmentalists are like lazy and ineffectual and performative. So like what, billionaires are too evil and environmentalists are lazy, ineffectual idealists? What do you want me to take from that? We're fucking screwed? I mean, we are, but that seems to be the message. Nothing can be done. Excellent. We need to fire a vacuum bomb into space to save the planet. Okay. The only thing bigger than the sun in this movie is my suicide note after having watched it. I think it's going to get like half a Sharknado movie out of 6 Sharknado movies. And that's going to be my new like baseline low until I watch something even worse, which obviously I inevitably will. God, life's relentless. Tune in next time for another episode of Proper Slopper Prime. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I got a big list of terrible movies. So, yeah. Later, nerds.
Ah!